Welcome back, everybody, to 31 Days of Halloween on the Calvin Camp Podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything spooky and chilling. I'm Calvin.
And I'm Anthony. And today we have a horror comedy, Ernest Scared Stupid. So let's get into it.
Okay, everybody, we're back. It is day 11.
Yeah. And we've got a horror comedy today.
Yep. Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, I wanted to do this movie because I really love this movie. It has a special place in my heart amongst a lot of the movies that are like this movie, such as like Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus or Don't Look Under the Bed, Goosebumps. It's in the realm because it's a children's movie. And I watched this movie a ton. This was a regular rental for me back in the day, and I watched this with my dad and my sister, and I think even my little brother too. At some point, he probably doesn't remember this movie, but I love this movie. I think it's great. Jim Varney is just fantastic, and R.I.P. to him.
Yeah, Jim Varney made a lot of those movies in the early '90s. He was sought after for that character Ernest. He did all these Ernest movies, and this happened to be one of them. And I had never seen this movie before, and I was very entertained by this movie. This movie was phenomenal.
It's so funny. It's very, very underrated. I feel like it's not as well known as it should be because it does hold up really well, especially for the type of movie that it is. Like I said, the kids' movie. Now, we didn't do any movies like Hocus Pocus or anything because I feel like those are talked about too much. Everybody knows these movies, but not enough people know Ernest Scared Stupid.
No, I had no idea that I knew about the Ernest. Like I said, knew Ernest and Jim Varney, but I never knew that he made a movie like this.
Yeah, so Ernest Scared Stupid came out in 1991, and it was directed by John Cherry and stars, obviously, Jim Varney, and it's the fifth film to feature Ernest P. Worrell, and the fourth film in the Ernest series. So in the film, Ernest unwittingly unleashes the evil troll upon a small town on Halloween night and helps the local children fight back. It was shot in Nashville, Tennessee, like its predecessors, Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, and Ernest Goes to Jail. So all taking place in the same town with a lot of the same characters that appear in all of those movies. This movie's great. The plot is pretty solid, especially for just the cheese factor that it is. Like, obviously, upon watching this movie, you know what you're getting into. So don't, overly be critical about it because obviously it has a, direct approach on a certain age group.
Yeah. And I just say, just go into this movie and just have fun with this movie. It's kind of like our previous episodes with Killer Clowns and Critters. Just go into this movie having fun.
Yeah. I liked a lot of really cool things about this movie where practical effects were really cool and really well done in this movie, especially costume design. The trolls had incredible costumes. We talked about this in our other episode, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but a lot of the leftover masks were used to create the trolls in this movie.
Yeah, and one of them being the main troll, they used one of the masks, which was really, really cool. Man, this movie had really good practical effects with just the summoning when he was growing tentacles, the main troll, in the final confrontation. Mm-hmm. Just when the trolls were coming out of the ground, the trolls, how they're being born with the little sapling things coming out of the tree.
Yeah.
When the kids were turned into little wood dolls, that, all the special effects and practical effects that were really well done in this movie, I thought.
I think they were equal to a lot of the effects that are done in the major blockbuster movies back in its time. They very, very similar effects. And especially to John Carpenter's The Thing, that scene that Anthony just mentioned when he's growing tentacles out of his ear, it really looks like The Thing, the tentacles in The Thing. And you even hear the hissing that is exactly from John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, definitely hear it. Yeah, there's Jim Varney is just so funny in this movie.
He's
like
a character.
He made me laugh the entire time. I said, "This is a great movie. I'm glad I spent my time watching this movie because he's just funny. He portrays like multiple characters too as they're battling, like a crazy old lady. He's like a jungle adventurer, kind of like Sir Hammerlock from Borderlands in one of them, and then he looks like a Roman soldier, like Pius or something. It's just crazy how he has these split personalities. And I thought that the kids in this movie had really good chemistry, and their acting was really good when they were with Jim Varney on the set. Looked like they really just had good chemistry. This is just a fun children family movie for Halloween. It's just a good movie. It's a great movie. It's just overlooked for sure, like you said.
It's very overlooked. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of movies in it that kind of shadow it, like Hocus Pocus. Again, I'm going to mention, and I'm not talking shit on Hocus Pocus. Like Hocus Pocus is a great movie, but like, obviously movies like that overshadow this. So, this I enjoy every time I watch it. One of my favorite sequences is just like the fact of how like snotty and stuff the trolls are. I just think that it's just so real looking. So
yeah,
like,
and that goes along with the practical effects when Jim Varney like kisses him.
Yeah, when he's dancing him and kissing him, and like milk is the secret like fight
is a
back
secret weapon,
technique.
and how the kids filled him with super soakers, and it was just really cool.
Yeah, when all the kids go in and they like raid the fucking grocery store, and they're like
even the
piling milk.
Even the
carts.
first person shots, like when they're riding the bike and stuff like that through the store, and the storekeeper's like, "You guys can't ride in here,"
and then they knock them over.
Yeah, there's just so many good shots in this movie. Like when Ernest sets a troll trap. There's just so many cool things. Just so many things. Jim Varney was just so funny.
Yeah, and so overall, I love this movie. I'm gonna give this movie a solid, out of love, 4 out of 5. Because it's just so very nostalgic and very deep to my heart. Obviously, it's not critically like the most amazing movie. So, but to me, I think I give it a 4 out of 5. I think the acting's great. I think that the practical effects just shine above everything. And this movie actually like used to scare me a bit too. So I was just like, it was, practical effects made it really real. So
yeah.
Yeah. What would you get it?
I definitely give it a 4 out of 5. I like this movie.
I'm glad you liked it so much.
I really did like this movie. I was really entertained by it. I liked the acting by the children, the acting by Jim Varney. I like the multiple personalities of it. I do like this. I forget to mention it. The montaged horror film in the beginning, like when the movie starts.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really all the classic films and stuff like that, and Jim Varney just moving around in the camera and how it was shot. That plus, I
also thought Eartha Kitt was awesome. Eartha Kitt is the lady, the old witch lady. So I thought her performance was great too. Like, and she plays several movies in like Disney, like Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. So she has a great voice. So
yeah, the other things I would say was the practical effects again in the set. The set, like her mansion, her little her house, like all the practical effects, like everything set up there. Just the set itself was good. They did a really good job portraying the troll, the tree, everything, like the smoke, everything, the atmosphere. It was just all Halloween. It's just a kid's movie, and that's why I give it 4 out of 5.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay, well, I have
what do you got for some fun facts?
Fun fact time. Fun fact time.
This is the part of the show where everybody loves it because we give the facts.
You like the fun facts, don't you? Okay, so the pizzas seen being thrown at the bullies who try to attack the kids' treehouse are reused props from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Well, that is a cool fact. I like that one.
So, let's see. Eartha Kitt auditioned for the role of Old Lady Hackmore. The casting director for this film would later cast her in The Emperor's New Groove, like I was saying. And Eartha voiced Yzma.
Yeah, I thought her acting was good, so that's a cool one.
Let's see. The emblem on the side of the Briarville police car reads in Latin, Ignoramus ad infinitum, which is literal translation, we do not know to infinity. So
interesting one there.
It's just a funny
funny
little thing. Director John Cherry kept the animatronic head for the main antagonist, Trantor, the troll. He used to keep it in his office, but had since given it to his son to display. Let's see. A total of 17 trolls appear in this movie, because there's a big old fight at the end with all the trolls and all the townspeople.
Yeah.
I also really, you know what I liked? I like those guys who were like, we're going to get famous off of this.
Yeah, sure those guys were cool. And then he ate the film. He's like, no, I ate my film.
Let's see. The film had its first DVD release from Touchstone Home Entertainment on September 3rd, 2002. Mill Creek Entertainment re-released it on DVD in January 18, 2011. As part of a 2-disc set, Ernest triple feature, along with Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Goes to Jail. Its third re-release was in August 2011 on Blu-ray as its own individual film. So it's still getting passed around. It's still getting re-released.
I mean, Jim Varney did really good in these movies. I mean, Ernest, like I said, the character is awesome.
Let's see. The carton of milk that Ernest is drinking from when he stops at the store for snacks, the dairy truck that almost runs Kenny over when he's running away from Trantor, and the cartons of milk that the kids gather from the store to kill all of the trolls are all labeled Purity Dairy. An actual brand of milk and a former client of John Cherry's ad agency. When Jim Varney did the Ernest commercials, he advertised the same brand.
That's so funny.
Let's see. The forest set was constructed in a 100,000 square foot building that was once a shoe factory and included live trees and variety of insects and 3,000 cubic feet of soil. Gnarled, enchanted looking trees were made of foam-covered steel, including the one used by Ernest in the treehouse.
Yeah, that's cool, because I kind of figured that I didn't know it was shot on a studio set. It looked like it was convincing. It looked like it was shot outside.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is a cool fact.
Let's see. One more. The main street of fictional town Briarville was a section of Nashville known as 5 Points. So, little location history.
Yep.
All right. But that is it for fun facts for Ernest Scared Stupid. Again, I highly recommend this, especially if you're a parent and you have children. Watch this movie. Even if you're not, it's still really enjoyable, especially if you like these kinds of movies. So go check it out.
It's definitely a good movie that you can sit down and watch with the family for sure on Halloween or anytime.
Anytime, yeah. All right, that's it for today's episode, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and good night.
Thank you all so much for watching the Calvin Cam podcast. You can find us on any social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter. Go check our podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. We also have YouTube channel, the Calvin Cam. Go over there, hit that like and subscribe button, and follow us there. As well as you can now really support us on Patreon.com. It's probably the best place to support us. So you can go there, join one of our 3 tiers, and help us get bigger and better, and we will appreciate you every step of the way. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night.